I found it at the cashier's cage. I guess somebody must have left it for you.
Thanks, Betty. Not even my birthday. Hey, what is it? I'll open it, and then we'll know.
Another tape.
What now?
Hey, maybe some new information or some other evidence.
Yeah, but for whose side?
For our side, obviously. It was delivered to us. Come on, we better look at that. I mean, right now. I don't think you should charge us for the French fries anyway. You gave us the same ones that I yesterday, and we didn't like them then. I'm not hungry anymore.
You're hungry, all right. Let's go.
Well, let's get out of here.
Is that all you guys eat for lunch? French fries and a Coke?
Well, we suddenly realized we have an important appointment.
Betty, do you know any more about how that envelope got here?
I'm sorry. I don't know a thing. I mean, I just stepped away from the cash register for a minute, and then when I came back, I was just sitting there.
Don't you have a regular cashier here?
Yeah, but she's out sick today. Everybody's got to double up.
Even the customers double up in this place. Do you know?
Listen, if you don't like the food, how come you eat here?
I'm a masochist.
I'm a Methodist myself. Will you excuse me?
I think I love her.
Listen, we gotta be in court in less than an hour.
I tell you, I'm sure getting tired of these anonymous gifts.
Well, I don't care how we get the evidence, as long as it helps us clinch our case.
How do you know it's evidence? Maybe it's a cartoon. Like Mickey Mouse?
I don't know. There's just something furtive about the way the man acted when he saw him.
I think everything about Cliff Nelson is furtive, if you ask me.
You sure it was a videotape you saw?
Miles. I see hundreds of video cassettes every single day.
Oh,
yes, I'm sure.
I've seen more than one in that courtroom.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. One of the ones we've already seen.
I hope so. Hope there aren't any more surprises.
Well, listen, I know one tape that it was not, and that was that damned X-rated tape of me and Wade. Draper made sure it was removed from the courtroom after they decided not to admit it for evidence.
Maybe it was Logan's tape. The one that showed him making that deal.
That's probably just what it was.
Except why did Cliff Nelson look so strange when he realized that I was watching him? Why else he looked guilty? It was as if he had something to hide.
Well, I'm sure Logan doesn't want that tape of him shown
Now, wait a minute.
anywhere
It wasn't
ever again.
Logan who looked guilty or furtive. It was his associate, remember?
Miles, you don't think it's possible that... You know what I'm worried about.
No, I don't think it's possible. There's not a reason in the world why the prosecution should even have that tape.
What tape are you talking
It's
about?
just nothing. It's absolutely irrelevant to your case.
Oh, is it? Is it really? It's another example of Wade's rotten character.
Look, Nicole, you mentioned something once about something that Wade did to you.
Miles, don't you think I can tell
I
Winter?
thought you wanted to forget about the whole thing.
Well, I do, believe me. But Winter is a fellow victim. Winter... Wade practiced his insidious video tricks on me, too.
You are kidding.
Wait a minute. The tape could hardly be called X-rated. PG would be more like
Oh,
it.
PIG describes Wade better than that. What happened, Nicole? Don't tell me that he was using some kind of blackmail on you.
No, I wouldn't say that.
What he was using was pure trickery and probably something much worse, probably drugs.
Oh, my God.
It happened in Chicago. I was there to attend that broadcasters convention. Well, Wade was there, too, and he insisted on having dinner with me, and he even made up some lie about some important official from the FCC who was going to be there. Of course, he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, that sounds like Wade, all right.
Anyway, I suddenly found myself falling down drunk after just 2 drinks with that man. I know. It sounds incredible. It's true.
It's too incredible. That's why I believe Wade slipped something into Nicole's drink so she'd be totally oblivious what was going on when somebody started pointing a camera at them.
You're kidding. You really did that?
Yeah, he did it all right. Somebody made a movie of our little necking party, and Wade had it transferred to videotape. Came very close to keeping us from wearing these rings.
Well, it's over now. The man is dead. Can't cause any more harm.
Yeah. Sure. Except for me. I mean, if Wade was alive, I wouldn't be facing what I'm facing.
You know, Mike, I think I'm going to take a trip. The Orient, Tibet, someplace like that.
For?
I'm going to look for a mystic, a guru those guys who sits up on top of mountains and looks down on everyone.
Looking for wisdom, Draper?
Actually, I'm looking for a power. I want to be able to read minds. I want to be able to look at a jury and know exactly what they're thinking.
That would be quite an advantage for a trial lawyer, no doubt of that.
The only impression I got from the jury this morning is that they don't know what to think.
Well, that should work to our advantage. Even if every one of those other women were guilty, the fact that the Berry sisters were over-eager to testify against them makes their motives suspect.
However, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're lying in this case.
No, we have to face that reality. It doesn't prove that.
Mike, let's be honest. What do you think's going to happen next?
I think it's fairly obvious, don't you?
Well, they've used up all their witnesses, haven't they? Wouldn't the next step be to rest their case?
I think that's exactly what they will do when court reconvenes. Which means, now it's our turn.
Yeah, it's our turn at bat now. I just wish we had a stronger lineup.
We have a pretty good lineup. We have the one witness who can tell the story of her own innocence.
So you are calling Winter?
I don't think we have any choice, Nancy. But there is somebody else I would like to get up in that stand.
Who's that?
Margot Huntington.
Draper, really, what would be the point of that other than she could be a character witness for me?
I think she knows a great deal more about this case than she's letting on. Well, granted, her gun wasn't the murder weapon, but that doesn't exonerate her. She could have used another gun.
Draper, you wouldn't want to put her on the stand just to make an unsubstantiated accusation of murder.
No, of course I wouldn't do that. For one thing, it wouldn't do Winter any good with the jury. And for another, it wouldn't do me any good with my wife.
Draper, I'm afraid I have to agree with you, because if you tried to use Margot to create reasonable doubt, it would definitely not help your domestic situation at all.
I don't think you'd get away with it, Draper. The prosecution would challenge any attempt at that kind of thing.
No, Mike, it was just wishful thinking on my part, believe me.
Now, if the ballistics report had turned out differently, she would be fair game.
If Margot's gun were the murder weapon, I would have had that case dismissed.
You never did find out where the gun came from, did you?
No, Nancy, we have no idea.
We have to assume it came from one of Margot's burglars.
Are you aware of what Margot assumes?
No, what?
Well, that I was one of the burglars.
What?
Maybe both of us.
You're
Mike.
joking.
No. She didn't say that you and I used stocking masks and terrorized the maid, but she did imply to the police that there was collusion somewhere along
She
the line.
really believes that?
Oh, right now, Margot is willing to believe the absolute worst about me.
Look, Draper, don't you think you might make some effort to get some kind of understanding between you and Margot? I mean, obviously April already has. And you will probably eventually. Listen, I hope you don't mind unsolicited advice.
No. It's reasonable advice, Nancy. I know that.
Well, I think we better start thinking about getting back. It's exactly 25 minutes to court time.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, look who's here.
Hi, Mike, Nancy, Draper.
Well,
Glad I found you.
Logan, what are you doing here? I thought you always hated that greasy spoon.
Yeah, I did. Didn't get much to eat, though.
Maybe you were lucky.
No question about that. Listen, I need to talk to you privately for a minute or two, if I may.
Well, Logan, if it's about the case, you know Mike is involved equally with me.
5 minutes is all I need, honestly.
That's all right. I'll take care of the check, Draper, on the way out, and we'll see you in court.
Thanks, Mike. I'm sorry to run you out.
No, it's all right. Excuse me.
See you later.
Steal some of this water.
Well, what is it? I mean, it must be important for you to go to all this trouble.
Oh, it's important, all right. Look, I know you took this case on good faith. I know that you believe your client is innocent.
Oh, hell, Logan, you have doubts about Winter's guilt.
I admit it. I had doubts. Maybe I just didn't want to believe that Winter was guilty no matter what the facts.
The facts didn't say anything. It was the Berry sisters who did all the talking.
Maybe the Berry sisters were telling the truth.
Well, prove it. Prove it. That's all I have to say. Well, look, what the hell are you doing here now?
Something's happened.
What, another surprise eyewitness?
You could say that, I suppose. Logan. Hey, what is this, huh? I get the conference behind my back, huh? We're right out in the open. This is a conversation, a private conversation between the district attorney and his friend, the defense counsel. As I recall, the district attorney is not in charge of this case. As I recall the assignment, the assistant district attorney is supposed to call the shots, not to mention the conferences.
Boys, don't fight. Be nice.
That's where I decided on how we were going to handle this. You decided how we were going to handle this. I haven't liked it from the beginning. So you thought you'd undermine the case by tipping off the defense. Nothing like that is going on. Look, if you don't like the way I'm handling this case, maybe you ought to ask for my resignation. When I want your resignation, you will know about it. Sorry, he is right, though. It's his case. Ought to handle it his way. I'll see you in court.
Nelson, does the prosecution wish to call another witness?
No, Your Honor, at this time, the prosecution rests its case.
Very well. Mr. Scott?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may call your first witness.
The defense calls Winter Austin to the stand.
Winter Austin, please take the stand. Place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your name.
Winter Austin.
Be seated.
Miss Austin, you are the defendant in this case. You've been charged with the willful murder of Wade Meacham. You've heard the testimony of the eyewitnesses and the remarks of the prosecuting attorney. After hearing all of this, do you still maintain that you are innocent?
I do. I'm innocent. I didn't kill him.
Thank you. Miss Austin, when did you first meet Wade Meacham?
It was about 10 years ago in Chicago.
Well, what was his business then?
He was making low-budget films in a converted barn on the south side of Chicago.
They were pornographic films, weren't they?
Yes.
In order to make these films, he had to attract young women to work for them, didn't he?
Yes.
And in order to attract these young girls to work for very little or no money, he had to do most of his recruiting among very, very poor girls.
Well, I suppose so. But Wade used to always brag that there were dozens of girls who would beg and plead to be allowed to be in his films.
Well, did you beg and plead?
No. I agreed to work in his films because because I needed the money, little as it was, and because I was young and foolish and I thought it would be fun.
Well, did it turn out to be fun?
No. It was awful. It was degrading. That's why I left. I stopped working for him after I'd made only one film. Only one film in which I'd had anything more than a bit part.
And that one film was Lazy Lady?
Yes. After Lazy Lady, I left Chicago and Wade Meacham. And I hoped my whole past.
Well, unfortunately, your past followed you here to Monticello, didn't it?
Yes. Wade Meacham moved here, too. Couldn't resist coming back into my life, especially after he found out...
Found out what?
That I was engaged to be married.
Well, not just that you were engaged to be married, but that you were engaged to marry the district attorney of Monticello. And according to Meacham, from what you've told me, he said it would be advantageous to know somebody that well connected.
Yes. Wade was delighted that I was so respectable. He hoped that he could use me to gain some influence with my fiancé. But he didn't. He never succeeded.
Miss Austin, we know that that's not true, that he did succeed to a point. We heard in court about the deal that Mr. Swift made with Meacham not to oppose his license to operate an X-rated theater in Monticello, and in return for that, Meacham promised not to show your film, Lazy Lady, and embarrass the both of you.
Yes, Logan did that, but it wasn't really a bribe. You see, he couldn't do anything to Wade. I mean, the law permitted the theater
Austin,
to be...
that's enough. We've already established that Mr. Swift's motives were chivalrous.
Your Honor, I am very grateful that the defense counsel has chosen to include me in his defense, but I would like to suggest that this testimony is wandering a bit far afield.
Your Honor, we'll move it along. Miss Austin, we're aware of the deal Mr. Swift made with Meacham for your sake. And we're also aware of the secret tape that Meacham made of the two of you in his bedroom.
Oh, please, can I explain that?
Miss Austin, you mustn't volunteer information.
Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Oh, yes, there is. I was only intimate with Wade because he promised that he wouldn't show Lazy Lady. I didn't know that he'd already promised Mr. Swift the same thing. You see, he lied to me. Wade lied to everybody about everything.
But you had very good reason to despise him.
Yes, I hated him, but I did not kill him.
But you did go to see him on the night of March 2nd.
Yes, I did.
For what purpose?
Well, I was trying to reason with him.
About what? Miss Austin, You told the police when they first took your statement that you went to see Wade Meacham because you wanted him to give you his copy of Lazy Lady. But you later told me that that was a lie.
Yes, it was a lie. I wanted him to give me the tape. The one that he had made of us in his bedroom. I couldn't bear the idea that he had that tape, that he might show it to other people.
But why did you lie to the police?
Because it was gone. I mean, it was stolen, probably by whoever killed Wade. There just didn't seem to be any point in even mentioning its existence.
But then later that tape turned up in the hotel safe.
Yes. There doesn't seem to be any point in denying it now. I wanted that tape so I could destroy it. He refused to give it to me.
What did you do when he refused?
Well, there was nothing I could do.
Were you angry?
I was furious.
Did you hate him for what he was?
Yes.
Did you hate him enough to kill him?
Yes.
But did you kill him? Did you take a gun and kill Wade Meacham?
No, I didn't have a gun. All I did was, I just turned around and I left.
In what part of Meacham's hotel suite were you?
The living room.
Did you ever, for any amount of time, go into the bedroom?
No.
And when you left Wade Meacham, he was alive and well.
Oh, he was alive and well and grinning from ear to ear.
Miss Austin, when you left Meacham's suite, did you slam the door?
I don't know. I suppose I would have.
I think in your state of mind, you definitely would have slammed that door. And a slamming door makes a loud, explosive sound, doesn't it?
Yes, I suppose it would.
And when you got to the other side of that door, did you see the next-door neighbors, the Barry sisters, watching you?
Yes, I saw them. I didn't pay much attention. I was too upset. I just turned around and I left.
Where did you go then?
Well, I went downstairs to have a drink. I was pretty shaky. I don't usually drink, but I did on that occasion.
You went to the hotel bar?
Yes, I went there to have a drink. I sat there, I don't know for how long. Well, until I was calm enough to go home.
And when did you find out about the shooting and death of Meacham?
Not until the next day. It was a shock, but I didn't shed any tears.
But you've shed many tears since, haven't you?
Yes, I have. But not for him. For me, I guess. Because everybody seems to think I killed Wade. And I didn't. I swear I didn't. I'd swear it on 100 Bibles. I did not kill Wade Meacham.
Thank you, Miss Austin. No question.
Mr. Nelson, does the prosecution wish to cross-examine?
You certainly do, Your Honor. Miss Austin, you just stated that you at no time entered Wade Meacham's bedroom on the night of March the 2nd.
That is correct.
Now, you're certain of that?
Yes.
But you had been in that bedroom before.
Yes.
In fact, you spent the entire night in that bedroom, haven't you?
Objection, Your Honor. That question is absolutely immaterial.
Question, Your Honor, since we've already established via videotape that Winter Austin had been there, and not just to check out the decor. Part of that decor was a videotape camera, wasn't it?
You know very well it was.
Hidden camera, which we've already established. Concealed behind a mirror and operated by a switch on Mr. Meacham's bedside. So without anyone knowing it, he could at any time tape events of all kinds. You knew about that, didn't you?
Yes.
Well, then, with Your Honor's permission, I'd like the defendant to identify this tape for identification.
Your Honor, I object to that. The tape hasn't been seen by the defense yet.
What is the content of this tape, Mr. Nelson?
Well, we believe it was recorded on Wade Meacham's bedroom camera.